Confusion about why the term spectrum is still used. I've been advocating for the autism disco ball for years. https preview.red.it/lp8 kepsgq0e1.jpg width equals 1280 and format equals PJPG and auto equals WebP and S equals 150 FA1 EFD 77D5 FO 7793 E1B5 E0 E1C8 COOC 5DC 575A. Perhaps autism exists on a multidimensional manifold. At least then most people wouldn't presume to know what it means. Both of those graphics are spectrum diagrams. The way I describe it to people not on the spectrum is while many of us have similar experiences, there is no universal autistic experience or type of ASD person. That's the spectrum. It's not just traits but how we live our lives. When people ask me where I am on the spectrum, I answer, I'm all over the whole thing. They don't usually get it. At how to get things out. It's normal for me. I have a much easier time writing what I want to say than vocalizing it. But at times it may take up to a half hour or more to write down a response and it'll end up being paragraphs long. That's when I realize that I've gone overboard with my response and end up deleting it all because there's no way to summarize it into a quick response. I repeat it inside of my head again and again and again and again and again until it's perfectly laid out in a perfect plan to say a single sentence. It's like making a TLDR with your thoughts. It's like filling up holes on a road. After all the holes are fixed, all you have to do is drive. After that thought is well put out, it usually goes on somewhat smoothly to continue on it. Alexithymia is when someone finds it hard to feel, recognize, or speak about their emotions. It is not a DSM-5 mental health disorder, but it can be related to post-trauma, eating disorders, and other conditions. It may also happen alongside autism. This sort of happens to me too, and it takes me a few false starts. I find the people that are willing to give me the time to find the words and courage to say them are the people worth keeping in my life. 2. I am too blunt and direct, especially if I don't have the mental energy to not be. Religion is exhausting. I had a fear of going to hell as a child and still have a slight fear of being constantly watched. Thanks to my Christian parents. I completely understand your concerns. You can deconstruct what you've been taught and choose not to follow a religion. As I have. It's much less stressful and I think more deeply about things since I don't have a convenient answer to everything, i.e., it's just the way God made it. I feel more free and curious. Religion isn't for everyone, and that's okay. I think being autistic helped me deconstruct. Maybe this is playing devil's advocate. I love studying religion. But like all the religions, two things I cannot stop talking about is religions and technology. They're almost my only main interests in life. From Judaism to the Kabbalah to Islam and different branches of Christianity. Various heresies, Gnosticism, Hermeticism, even Wiccan and Satanism, etc. Christian Science was a crazy rabbit hole. It's invigorating to me and I can talk hours and hours about the different belief systems people had and the way it affected their culture. The modern-day effect of religion on culture. Religion and war versus religion and peace. It's so much fun when you look at it from a history, moral, evolutionary perspective rather than a "if you don't obey then be gone fool" perspective. IDK if this is an appropriate response or not, but I wanted to put this out there. I highly recommend learning more about atheism and the general views we hold. One thing I've personally realized since becoming atheist is that I am an insignificant speck in a remarkably vast universe. Nothing I do will make a real impact on anything in the long term. All I have is my life. To do with what I will. I will choose to be kind and compassionate to other insignificant specks like me, and hope for the same in return. And when I die, my atoms will move on and live a million different lives, each just a tiny part of the whole of existence. I don't know if this sounds comforting to you. Some people have told me that my perspective sounds really depressing, but I grew up in a very constrictive religion, and was constantly feeling like I would burn in hell for the smallest things. Since leaving religion, I have figured out what I believe about reality. My views now help me know that my mistakes are temporary, and I can't worry about what may happen 100 years from now, because I'll have no part in it. I can just live today and make the most of what I have. Take care of yourselves out there. Sometimes my day feels like this. https preview.red.it/96q0e0e1.png width equals 800 and format equals PJPG and auto equals WebP and S equals CB 382 BA 5 BAD 0D 3747 AH 74 D 83 CCC 85954 B0 C 6344 B. It feels like all I want is to wait for my demise and stop it at all costs at the same time. Here's a cute dog. https preview.red.it/xbuck85y4 say0e1.jpg width equals 3024 and format equals PJPG and auto equals WebP and S equals A4C 389E1D0A 984B93 C21AF 572 FBF3A 4B98151 D0D. Lol, this reminds me of my certificate of autism that I asked my psych to make for me in addition to my official report. She made it for me so that on the days I am full on imposter mode, thinking I am not autistic and just asshole, I can look at it and be reminded that someone with over 30 years experience knows what I am, and that I should trust her and not what my stupid brain tells me. https preview.red.it/a2oobsmg0e1.png width equals 1080 and format equals PJPG and auto equals WebP and S equals A0EB4DC7EO3FCO7A743325365 FFCEA 3952 AD 496. Thank you.